Now we move on. As the Israeli government has formally ratified the ceasefire plan with Hamas, IDF Army armored vehicles were seen moving along the Gaza border. As part of the agreed first phase of the Gaza peace plan, hostilities in Gaza are to be suspended and all Israeli hostages are to be released within 72 hours. The IDF is expected to complete its pullback to agreed upon deployment lines in Gaza by noon on Friday. Once complete, the IDF will remain control of over 53% of the Gaza Strip's territory. Following this, Hamas is expected to release the Israeli hostages. 20 of them are believed to be alive. However, locating the bodies of slain hostages may delay their return. As the peace process continues, explosions, plumes of smoke were seen over southern Gaza. Now for this discussion, we're joined by Matti Zweig. He's a geopolitical expert, joins us live from Tel Aviv. Thank you very much, Matti, for joining us again. Good to see you. Matti, as yesterday
Good morning, Asuma.
Thank you. Yesterday we were talking about there were some ministers who were against ratifying this, but now that it has been agreed upon in the cabinet, who do you think who agreed, and how challenging was it for the Prime Minister, for the Netanyahu to reach to this conclusion?
Well, knowing the internal political movements inside the government, it's usually more of the same. I mean, they have agreed upon this before because they have told him, I'm talking about the extremist ministers, that they are going, seeing what is going on and seeing the pressure of Trump, they are going to agree on the first phase that the hostages will be freed, the live ones and the dead ones, and then Israel is going to redeploy, which they started to do since yesterday. And but in the second phase, they are not going to be part of it. They are even going to street to leave the government or making it fall down if Hamas is not going to dismantle themselves. So in this way, it's like saying to the round voters, we gave the permission for the hostages to come back, but we are not going to stay in this government if they are not going to dismantle themselves. Like saying we are the only ones that they are really pushing Hamas to finish their the war preparations and leaving Israel alone, which is not really what is going on the ground. What is going on the ground is the common agreements between Trump, the mediators, and Israel and Hamas, even if they want it or not. So these extremist ministers, they are playing their game for their own benefit, but the government is not falling down in this moment.
And can you tell us if this ceasefire holds, how will Netanyahu's popularity look? Will it affect or will it change anything in Israeli politics?
In the Israeli politics, as I said in the past, it was a before and an after the 7th of October. I mean, the people know who has failed. So the military failed in their concepts or in their conception of what to do with Gaza or with Hamas. And the political establishment also failed in the way they have to take care of Israeli population after what happened. If we are talking about the displaced hundreds of thousands from around the Gaza Strip and the north, also when Hezbollah was inside the attacks. And people is very angry about this. And it's also very angry about the developments that has been since then, when the government passed a new budget for 2026 that includes many, many cuts, while they are fueling with a lot of money some parts of their own components in the government. All this is part of a democratic country. People knows independently what to think. They see what's happening. They see how many people has been dying, how many were injured, and how the government treat all this. They are not pleased. All surveys say that the government, even today, even if everybody is coming back, is going to be an advantage for all the opposition. Also, Benjamin Netanyahu knows that, so he was trying to keep more and more until the end. And now what's going on? Who can predict the future? We don't know. Maybe he can have a slightly advantage now. Maybe he's going to go up for a couple of points, but the whole picture stays the same. The opposition is winning in any way, altogether, I mean, if there are going to be elections now. So maybe his party, Netanyahu's party, is going to be up a little bit, but in the whole picture, things are not changing from survey to survey already 1.5 years.
I see. That's really insightful. Thank you for sharing that, Matti. And also, I wanted to ask, since yesterday we talked last, we just found out about the 53% that Israel is going to hold on to in Gaza. Are there any more details that you could share about this 53% now?
Israel has been in different moments of the fighting with some different percentage of holding the area. And they themselves, they move from one side or the other according to different and changing orders that they have from the government or from the army, how to redeploy. Now the agreement say in what kind of redeployment has to be. And the most important part for Israel is that the Philadelphia corridor and Khan Yunis and big parts of the north area are going to stay with Israel. It doesn't mean that they're going to stay forever. It's what is called the yellow line now. Every time we have new lines and new colors. But what is important is that Israel, after the hostages will be freed, they have to look very closely with more and more surveillance what the Hamas is doing. And if they are going to let the new government to start doing their job, because there is also a big threat from inside, they are going to conquer new places, try to steal again the humanitarian aid, and try to interfere with the work of any future interim government. So, of course, Israel has to stay in this moment. Everything is going to be more clear after the developments of how Hamas is going to behave after that all the agreements are done, if they are really going to leave power and to a new interim government.
And since you've also mentioned aid, I wanted to ask, is there any other, or are there any agencies that Israel and Gaza can trust to deliver aid to those in need now? Is it UN, is it UNRWA, or is it Red Crescent? Which one is it?
From their point of view, they are going to try to take to resume their work again, because Israel blamed UNRWA, for instance, to have hundreds of workers that they were directly connected to Hamas. And now, if it's politically correct, they are going to let them work, saying that this person or another person, they cannot be part because they are part of Hamas and instrumentally good for them. So if they are really going to show that they belong to UN and not to Hamas, Israel is going to have a blind eye and let them also help. So everything is going to be connected to the developments on the ground, if they are really going to take care of humanitarian aid, or they are going to be connected again with Hamas and not doing their job. And Israel is also going all the time to look at these things and make their denounces if really are not playing their part. So Israel is going to play their part. They are already redeploying their forces, and hundreds of people is going to be prepared to receive the free hostages and to give them all what they need from also psychological point of view, and also from the physical point of view. Is going to be a long recovery after terrible 2 years that they have passed in the worst of their scenarios, in caves, in tunnels, being not feeded. And really, if we are talking about the world, it's shame on some people like Macron and others that they continue to talk like they don't see what is going on in the reality, and continue talking about fantasies, about two-state solutions, and giving everything to Palestinians, and not even blaming Hamas for everything they did until now.
Yes, Maddie Zweig, thank you for sharing that. Please stay with us as we come back to you.